Morning.
Good morning.
So we stayed in this little car park area all throughout France. There's these, what they call them, airs. I've said it before in a few other episodes, but they're purpose-built for campers, motorhomes, whatever. And there's usually like a little toilet nearby or something like that. And you'll see it throughout France. There's little camper van signs. So we stayed here.
You get bins and stuff, don't you, as well? So you get places to empty your bins, some places to empty your toilet, stuff like that. Really good. France is brilliant for that, isn't it? Absolutely brilliant.
And it's all free. So we need to go and just get some fuel, and then we're going to check out something absolutely awesome. So we are heading today to something that's been on the telly, on the TV, something we've been fans of for years and years and years, and something that's really, really inspired us. So we're going to go there now.
Welcome to Dick and Angel Strawbridge's chateau. We have watched them for years, and we watched every bit of them doing up this chateau. And we really admire them as people because they took everything that they had, they took a risk with two young kids, and they just upped and they moved to France and they bought this place. And it was, if you've watched the programmes, if you haven't, get on and watch them, but if you've watched them, you'll see that the trials and tribulations they went through putting this place together, you were just with them every step of the way. It's absolutely outstanding, absolutely outstanding. Romany looks well underdressed here. We've got postcards, look. This is a special postcard for Romany. Oh, what a nice touch. Look, it's been, do you think Angel's designed that?
Yeah, it looks like it, doesn't it?
It's got Angel and Dick on it, look. They've got like a little welcome here as well. It's fantastic, look, there's Dick and there's Angel on there, and it's fantastic. As he says, if you are reading this, thank you for coming to see us, and of course the chateau. We continue to be humbled by the support and kindness we receive, and we thank you for inviting us into your lives. Chateau de la Montresson is our family home, and it's been an honour sharing our journey with you. We have created this area for you to take pictures from. Please do take a postcard with you. We also please ask that you respect our privacy and not go beyond this point. All our love, Dick, Angel, Arthur and Dorothy. Oh, isn't that lovely?
If you watch Escape to the Chateau, you'll see that when they bought this place, it was just a wreck. They quickly ran out of money, and they had to come up with all these weird and wonderful ways of kind of making it what it is today. And it's absolutely incredible what they've done with it.
They taught the kids as well, didn't they? Like, they teach the kids how to, grow vegetables, how to garden, all really kind of practical life skills, really hands-on practical life skills. And the kids must have a fantastic life here, an absolutely fantastic life. They've got like a moat that runs around it as well. They did like a floating kind of stargazing, a little place that you could stay on that floats on the moat. Absolutely amazing. But I think it's just that we do admire them so much for the fact that they did leave everything out. And obviously they had more money than a lot of us to be able to move here and buy this, but it doesn't really matter how much money you've got when you buy a place like this, because you're going to quickly run out. They had to do all sorts of stuff to be able to, just like Reese says, to get the money together. They had to put an entire new roof on. They've done just about all of the work themselves, which is really hands-on, and it's really made it theirs, and it's how they balance each other out. Angel does a lot of the kind of crafting stuff and the design stuff. She's got an amazing eye for detail, and Dick, like Reese says, does a lot of the kind of hands-on, engineering type of stuff.
Yeah, he's a clever guy.
When you put them together, they just make a fantastic couple, don't they? And they seem to just laugh all the time. They seem to laugh and really enjoy life. So it's a real honour to actually be able to come here. You never know, they might come out and invite us in for a cup of tea.
I think that's Angel.
I'm excited that I've got that. That is absolute pride of place, and although we didn't get invited in for a coffee, I have just seen Angel going in, so I'm quite excited about that as well. Well, that were absolutely fantastic. I've left him a little note as well. Just to say, you know, we've watched them for ages, and it's really nice to have the opportunity to come down. A lot of people would shut off the entrance to this place and not let you anywhere near it.
Gates up front there, and you won't be able to see it, but to come and be able to see it is really kind of them.
I just think it's a really beautiful thing to share, you know, with people what they've done. I think that's fantastic. So we've left them a little thank you note. So if you are watching this, Dick and Angel, thank you very much. We've had a fantastic time coming and looking at your chateau, and we are now heading back further up north.
Well, we've arrived in a little place called Siez. Looks absolutely beautiful, to be fair. So we've just parked up in a little park for night spot, which is really nice, overlooking a lake. We're having a bit of dinner. It's dinner time, isn't it, Daisy? It's dinner time. Ollie is lovely, isn't it?
Oh, it's gorgeous, absolutely. This is like, there are better makes than this, but this is the best one that you can find regularly. It's gorgeous.
Got the coats out now. It's getting really cold out here now.
It's cold. I've got 3 hoods and my coat. I mean, I know it's still warmer than UK, but it's cold. I want to go back to Spain.
She wants to go back to Spain. A couple of things to say about France if you're thinking of coming here while we think on. Firstly, the fuel is really, really expensive, which is one of the reasons why we've explored Spain more than we have France, because we quickly found in France that it's really expensive.
There's a few other things as well that are expensive, and it's not just fuel costs. It's like if you stay on the toll roads, then you do better on fuel, obviously, so you don't use as much. But then you've got the tolls to pay out for. If you're not on a toll road, they absolutely love roundabouts.
They love them.
France.
They can't get enough at roundabouts.
Honestly, it's like literally every few hundred metres there's another roundabout. So you're then using loads of fuel. The food is really expensive. It's much more expensive than in the UK. And it adds up, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Between fuel and tolls and what have you, it just adds up.
Yeah, Spain's much cheaper. The things that France has going for it, apart from being really, really beautiful, is that the roads are absolutely immaculate, all across the country, and there's loads and loads of places to stop if you're travelling in a van.
And it's very safe,
and it's very safe, is France, yeah. I mean, Spain is as well, but France feels very safe everywhere, if that makes sense.
Just because it's like every 10 kilometres you've got another park up, basically. And it's fantastic for that, isn't it? It's really, really good for that.
The architecture and buildings in France are absolutely beautiful, and I mean almost a work of art. They're so ornate and typically French. French is like a box of Quality Street. It does exactly what it says on the tin. Do you know what I mean? It is totally French, isn't it, Em? It's like it does exactly what it says on the tin. You're not disappointed in France. You don't get here and go, oh, it's not very French. It's don't know, dear. It's exactly.
You say the most poignant things for our viewers.
But it is. It's. I want to tell them how French it is. I want to tell you how French France is. That's what I want to do. Comment if you've seen the film Ratatouille. Right. I'm always going on to Emma about this. She loves hearing about it. But it's a film about a little rat, and he's in Paris. And it's typically French. It's like, oh, and all this, it's lovely. It's a lovely film about a lovely little rat. But it's that feeling. Or what other French films can you think of? Like Beauty and the Beast, that candle out of Beauty and the Beast, Lumiere, or whatever they call him. It's that, innit? They sort of get that and they copy it in France.
If we've got any French viewers, I'm really sorry.
Yeah, I love the French, and I love your country. It's one of the most beautiful countries in the world. But I'm just trying to explain kind of just how French it is, and I'm sure they've looked at them two characters and gone, oh, we'll pinch that, we'll make it into that. Unless it's the other way around, I don't know.
I think it's just like when people look at England and they imagine cobbled streets and 18th century buildings and
they're quite hard to
sheep and all that sort
and that's
of
quite
thing,
hard to find. Do you know what I mean? If you rock up in England and you don't know where those places are, you're going to find yourself on the back streets of Leeds or somewhere going, where are all these cobbled streets? As where France isn't like that, it's French everywhere.
Everywhere.
And I like that, that's good, isn't it?
Beautiful, very, very beautiful.
So we've come for a quick coffee in this little cafe. There's no caramel lattes I can find in France at all. I don't know if I've just been unlucky or what, but I can't find a caramel latte, which is unfortunate because I was going to compare caramel latte between France and England, but I can't find one, so I can't. So we never ever gamble. We're actually against any kind of gambling, but Emma's bought a scratch card because she can win 500,000.
Because sometimes you get a feeling that you've got to do it, and I got that. Do you remember when just before we got married, I went and did that little it was like peel off scratch cards, and we didn't have enough money to pay for any entertainment at our wedding. And I had this funny feeling I should just go do it, and I went to do it, and I won 250 quid, and it was exactly the amount we needed to pay for the band at our wedding, and I just got that feeling in there then, so we're just like, I've got to do it. Well, I scratch everything on here.
Right, let's have a look.
We don't even know, we might win, don't throw it away in case we need to translate it.
So you need all 5 numbers to match, and we've got 1 number. So that's why you shouldn't do scratch cards.
I had a funny feeling.
Waste of money. Complete waste of money. I think we might have won €5 because we matched a number which will pay for half of this coffee. So we won the first game, which is €5. So then we just swapped it for another card. So that was the second one, and then we won €5 again, so we swapped it again. So this is 3rd time lucky, and that's it then. So that's it, game over.
I'm literally gutted because I really... See, that's what it does to you, that, doesn't it? Because I really thought I got that funny feeling, and all I need is 500,000 so I can buy this beautiful tiny little house, and I mean it is tiny, you can't spring a cat in it, but it's a little 1-room house in Ibiza because that's how expensive they are, with land around it, right? I need that. 500,000, and by coincidence, if I invest 500,000 into a European country by purchasing property, you get what they call the golden ticket residency, which gives you 5 years of residency.
What a beautiful little town that was. So we're going to head further north now, check out somewhere else.
In 400 metres, at the roundabout, take the 3rd...
Drive up through the city and all its traffic jams as everybody's finishing work and racing to get home, and then you come up and you drive out into this. It's absolutely beautiful. As you know, me and Reese don't like cities at all, partly because it's really busy and really difficult to drive around, isn't it?
And partly because they're horrible.
And partly really because I don't like the feeling of the whole thing. Like when you're driving through a city or you're walking through a city, everybody's really hyped up and wound up, and they're all kind of feel like they're searching for the next promotion and the next best thing that they can buy, and they've been led into this kind of thing that, like, this illusion that that's what they have to do and that that's what life's about, and that if they don't have the right car and they don't have the right clothes and they don't wear the right perfume, and we've, you know, a lot of us have been there, I've been there, I've done all that, you know, and it sort of fills me with dread when I'm around that type of vibe. I absolutely hate it. So I usually try and avoid cities at all costs. And one of the biggest reasons for that as well is the massive disparity between people who are kind of, you know, at the top of their chain and they've got, you know, all the money and the posh penthouse suite or whatever, and then you've got those that are working that the hardest they can to be recognised in a place of work, to be appreciated, to get that next promotion and stuff, just to afford that little corner of the world that they call home, and they're killing themselves to do it. And then you've got people that are homeless, that are on the streets, that have got absolutely nothing, and they're surrounded by people walking past them every day with money, and I hate being in the middle of all of that. But I really, really, really wanted to see Rouen. It's an absolutely beautiful city, and I really wanted to see it. So I found a way of seeing it with all its beauty, without having to be a part of all of that other stuff that's going on, that unfortunately you can't just walk in and fix. You know, and I end up coming away from the city feeling quite wound up and upset usually, because I feel like I can't fix things that are not working right there and people that are struggling and what have you. So I found a way for us to see it without having to be in the middle of all of that. Wait till you see this. We're going to sit here, we're going to have a coffee, we're going to have a paella, and we're going to have a look out over the entirety of Rouen and just enjoy this magnificent view, absolutely magnificent. And then
We're gonna cross back over to the UK on the tunnel. Our time is up here. Europe, you've been absolutely breathtaking,
Absolutely.
fantastic, but it's time to head back home to the UK.
So Daisy's all ready, aren't you, Daisy? Ready to board the tunnel? You ready to go back to the UK? She looks absolutely terrified. She's bracing herself. She knows it's going to be cold.
You're cold.
So we are off, boarding on the tunnel back to the UK. Our Romany Pirates mascot is there, look, waving goodbye to Europe. He's enjoyed his time, hasn't you? We found it!
That in the background there is North Africa. So I've just been up in the middle of the mountains to have us dinner. Copy that, Gordon Ramsay.